This, my friends, is what we so affectionately in the business call scraps. So this is a post that I'm here for American Crafts. And in this American Crafts post, you're going to be seeing this on HeidiSwapp.com. And I was challenged to take my scraps and make something from them. What do you love most with your scraps to make? Well, let's see what I can come up with today. Are you ready? Let's go. Here's what I think we're going to do. Now, the thing is, most of these scraps are from this project pad, and this project pad has seen it. I mean, we're just down to some alphas and a glitter page and a solid cardstock in the back. And this one, I have effectively used this particular project pad, which I'm glad for. I love using these up and making use of all the things. Okay, so set that aside. This is kind of what's left. So first thing I did, and if you're taking notes at home, this would be point number one. The first thing I did was separated out my scraps by feel, color, vibe. I'm not sure what you would call it, but that's what I'm calling it. So I have a color story here that is cool and green and blue and some yellows. I kind of thought some yellows could work with this too. I have a color story over here of oranges and peaches and pinks and yellows. But see, I felt like this yellow went here. Can you see that? Okay, so divide them up by color story. So that is point number one. Number two, I went through each of my color stories and for the most part, organize them by size. Just to get a better idea, what do I actually have? Look at this big old banner here. Like, what was I thinking? In a hole, like right on top. Don't you love these pieces? They actually do really make me happy. To get an idea of what I had to work with, it helped to get these larger sizes together and then the kind of smaller sizes together. So that was basically the second thing I did. Then the third thing I did was, as I went through some of these pieces, I went ahead and threw things away that were wrinkled or just too small. But you know, a piece like this, that's not too small. I mean, this would make a great banner. So I don't consider this one too small and would be then kind of like the embellishment pile, if you will. So I'm not trying to make this super scientific. I'm not trying to make this super, you have to do it this way. This was just kind of the ways I go about it because I want to make the most of my paper. Okay, was that point number three? Because here's point number four. Here's something I heard recently. I've been watching a lot of flip book videos and junk journals and just some different ideas. You know, I'm a storyteller at heart, but at the beginning of all of this adventure, I started with card making and tag making and just anything that had to do with paper and stickers. That's where all my love really actually comes from. So I'm just still hanging out there and that's okay. So like the last point I'd want to make is we got to get through our stash, guys. There's plenty of paper out there. We have to let go of the hoarding issues and we got to make pretty stuff. So let's go. Some of the papers I have, like I said already, are from the project pad, the Art Walk project pad. And so they're going to be single-sided. I do happen to have a couple of extra rogue pieces in here that happen to be double-sided, but it doesn't matter what kind you use. We're just kind of basically focusing on scraps. My challenge just happened to be using the scraps that I had and the Art Walk. So I have I have about a 12 by 6 piece of paper here. And I decided I'm kind of moving towards sort of a flat mail kind of mini album. And so what I'm going to do here, now there's a little wrinkle here. I don't know if you can tell, it's going to be in the back. And so this is going to be basically like a 4 by 6 inch book. I'm going to go ahead and fold that over. Then what I'm going to do, because I can eyeball this really well here, I couldn't just do 4 inches because I probably wouldn't be able to fold it well. So I'm going to just move over a bit so that my next score is going to clear this little portion here. And actually what I think I'm going to do is go a quarter and another score. Quarter's kind of big, so maybe I'm just going to go with an 1/8. I think I'm going to do an 1/8. And yeah, that's a pretty skinny little score there, but we can do it. Just be gentle and patient. Go slow. Go slow is a good thing when we're crafting and just having an enjoyable time of making something new, fresh, and different. So then what this does for me here is I can do a couple things at this point. I have this paper that's probably going to be utilized next, and it's not quite tall enough because once I cut off this little strip, it's not going to be that tall. And here's something fun. I've got stamping on it. So who knows where that's going to end up? I might not even see it at all. But I think I'm going to maybe go this way and create another page. So that will require me to cut this at 6 inches. And using this We Are Memory Keepers trim and scoreboard is super helpful in an instance like this where I'm going to be using both the cut and the score. This might be a bit of an older one. I will link down below because they always have them and they're always fairly new. So what I want to do next is I want to go ahead and create a pocket, not a pocket, but like a page. So I'm going to go here at a 1/2 inch. It's just going to give me plenty of room of a flap. And same thing, it's going to be score and fold, and using this little score tool to make those creases nice and sharp. So you can see here that's going to be too long for the rest of it, and that's fine. I'll go in and I'll trim that. But this now is going to be an extra flap here. So I'm going to go in and trim this up to 4 inches and adhere this inside my page. As I've been watching, just for fun, these different videos, so much inspiration out there on YouTube. It is fascinating. I have noticed a lot of, especially junk journalers, junk bookmakers, using glue, a craft glue for a lot of their adhering down. I'm a fan of the double-sided adhesive that I'm showing you here that I can't get pulled up for my page. There we go. I just feel like it's going to stay where I want it to stay. It's going to just have really good adhesion. And I also don't have to worry about it warping my paper. And I think these art glues are not warping the paper, but I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. So I'm sticking with my double-sided adhesive rolls, and I like the 1/4 inch. I like the 1/8 inch a lot. You can see I need to order some more 1/4. Okay, so that's kind of fun. And did you see this one piece I had in here? I have to share it with you. Obviously, use this for another project at some time. It's going to sit down here somehow. So I decided, even though this is kind of plain, probably add some stamping, that this is going to sit down there. I want to come back in here with, trying to decide which color now I want to come in here with. And I want to make a pocket. So that's what I'm going to be deciding on next. Okay, now here's how this pocket is going to go. I'm going to score this exactly in half. So it's 7 1/4. So it's 7 1/4. So I'm going to come in here at 3 3/4 and create this pocket, same as I've been utilizing so far. My measurements were off. You know, this is why I didn't go to math arts on purpose. There's a reason why I didn't go to the math arts. I need to trim a little piece of that off. It's a little too tall. So let's do that. And come back in here, and I'm going to make that pocket there. I'm just deciding because I am going to want to also make it so that it is going to flap for me. But let's make the pocket first by running the 1/4 inch double-sided adhesive here along the edge. This is kind of a quick, I want to call it a cheap pocket, because a lot of times if we add our gussets, then we just have a really smooth way for our pocket, or the tag, or whatever piece of paper is going to be going inside to do just that. But in this instance, I am going to kind of go just a little fast on that. Then what I'm going to do is run over here and give myself another 1/8 inch of a score. And this is double pieced paper here, so I gotta go a little bit harder to make sure that fold comes up. And you can see here that it is indeed there. So I'm just gonna play with it for a minute and then I'm gonna put it in place. All right, I'm not gonna lie, I had a little bit of issues, I think because I had it doubled and getting it folded well. So I ended up kind of just stressing the edges here. Everything still folds really nice, so I'm happy with that. The next thing I'm gonna do is it's funny how I've left all the little merchandising strips on here. Pull this off and I'm gonna eyeball my measurements this time. And I'm gonna make a little flap that's going to sit in here next. This scrap, it's also double-sided. I decided to go with a little bit more of a pattern, so I need to trim this down to, actually, no, I think I'm gonna do, no, we're gonna keep this simple. Nope. You know, sometimes just simple is best. So we're gonna make a pocket again, but we're gonna do the simple pocket and just add adhesive on 3 sides. And that way, again, you're not gonna have to worry about measurements for your scraps. If something fits, something fits. And you don't have to worry about, oh, well, I need another 1/4 inch. I'm gonna use my 2-inch punch and make a nice size little space here, so it's easy when I do have something tucked in there to just go ahead and pull that out. So I'm going to adhere that in place. This time I'm going to use 1/8 inch adhesive for this pocket to fit right there on that panel. So look what we got so far. I love just going back and taking a moment to see, oh, what have I done so far? And this is just fun how this all flips open. Okay. Super simple concepts, right? So here's another simple concept. Let's see which way we're going to go with this. Another scrap. It has some yellow on it. I kind of like the yellow for over here. Actually, I probably could trim a little bit of the top off. Just going to simply fold it over, just like that. Let's give it a little nice edge. I probably should have scored it just to clean up the edge a little bit. And then it's just going to tuck in this pocket. And we just got a little bit of the yellow showing, so it plays nicely with that side. The next thing I'm thinking about is putting another pocket right underneath here. My piece of scrap is a little wide, so first I'm going to mark how tall I want this to be. Trim that first, and then go in and trim a little bit from the edge. I don't know, maybe an 1/8 inch to start. Let's see if that's enough. Kind of trial and error, right? Trial and error to see if that's going to fit and still everything closed. Yep, inside my folds. Remember with pockets, just always a good idea to give it a little thumb hole. So whatever you pop in there easily comes right back out. So what are we gonna do? 3 sides for our super simple pocket. One of the ideas with this today is that you all can just take your time watching this video for some ideas, pause and start it as you desire, and just go with it that way and enjoy the process. I figure you know how to add adhesive to your edges for pockets, so I'm not going to show you that. Can you see I'm trying to just find a way to kind of fill this in here and deciding if that's what I'm going to do? Oh, I totally know what I'm going to do. Totally know what I'm going to do. What is this here? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, what I'm going to do here is, oh, look at this one's already got some stuff going on here. Wow, look at that. Look at that. What do we think here about just another pocket right there in the middle? Oh, we think that's a great idea. I'm just going to have to go ahead and trim this extra part off here. And you can see how this pocket's forming, since I'm just taking advantage of the folds that I already have there. And we're just going to go and follow through here and go ahead and make the folded bottom edge as well. Just going to take a bit of that off so that there's not all the extra underneath it. And I'm going to add adhesive and add it inside that flap. All right, tall pockets in place. Have the construction of this little scrapbook, right? I added this little banner in here. I stapled it and then I adhered it to the top of this, but below the fold so that it could still come up. I'm going to go ahead and I've changed up my mind how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the very front. I'm going to add a few more embellishments that I'm going to show you. Then I'm going to finish it up and then kind of give you a review of the pieces, the other elements I decided to put inside here. But this solid colored cover definitely needs a bit of an impact, and I have another fun thing I'm going to do for the front of that, so that's why I kind of changed that up. I decided to go ahead and put this Helloooooo scrap inside of here. I liked how it kind of toned down the brightness of the yellow and played with this panel over here. I'm going to go ahead and staple it with my mini attacher. Whoops, I got a few things here in the way. Let's clear our space. It's a thing I have to remind myself about all the time. Clear your space, James. Clear your space. Then over here on the other side, because I don't want that to show, I'm going to then adhere just this little banner for now. There'll probably be something else over here. I kind of scored the top so it had a little bendy piece. I don't know why, just because I liked it. I like the idea. So I'm going to cover up the staple part. I don't want it to show. I have these two tags in here, and I have a little something here in this pocket, and then this guy here, and he's going to need a little something too. This is what I have left after having put this together. That's pretty good. I'm pretty excited. I really should do this more often. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a reel, and so I will show you how I finished this cover in just a moment. Ta-da! There you have it. And that's all I got left. So great way to clear your scrap stash. So I hope you find some inspiration from this, and I hope you too will take the challenge and make something from a collection of scraps. And in the meantime, I'll see you in the next video.